What's going on? We're doing a quick review of the Netgear AC1450 Smart Wi-Fi router. It's the 802.11ac dual band gigabit router. So this guy's got a funky look. I kind of liked it when I first got it. A little bit of dust on there. It's got a 3.0 USB connector. It's got 4 ports for wired and a WAN connection, reset button, and power button, which is always nice. Interestingly, they have a Wi-Fi on and off button over here. If I can get this to focus and clearly see what this is, you cannot. So the top one is a Wi-Fi on off. Let's get closer maybe. And yeah, the phone's having a hard time focusing here. Focus. Let's try the autofocus. Negatory. Alright, well, I'm just gonna tell you that it says Wi-Fi on and off on the top. And this one says underneath, it says WPS, so that's for securely connecting. Yeah, it can't handle that. And then this is another USB port down here. So this is a, kind of an interesting looking router. There's no antennae sticking out of it. On the other side, there's nothing. And the base is just, the base. It's technically upside down for you, I guess. Not that you need to see this, but this is all my stuff if you want to log into my router, which is actually going back right now, so good luck with that. So anyways, this Netgear light up is on all the time. There might be a way to turn it off through router controls. It was under my desk, so I didn't really care. So this is the box for it. So supposedly it has this beamforming plus, which makes it gives it a stronger connection, over distances. It didn't really work for me. Next generation gigabyte or gigabit Wi-Fi speeds, connect more devices throughout your home, USB 3.0 port, up to 10 times faster than USB. Yeah, we all know that. Perfect for online gaming, not necessarily, and video streaming. So it was fine. I used it for almost a year now, I guess. It was okay. It doesn't give me the two things that I want, and that is a really good internet connection across the street, which is like just outside of my home. There's a spa area I'd love to be able to work at. It's not strong enough to reach there. Hey, okay, fine. I'm not going to basically ding it for that, but that's what I would like. But the biggest problem is right in the next room is where this is located. And I have problems with some of the gaming stuff on my tablet right in this next room. I mean, it's actually up high in my room right next door. I'm basically separated by plaster and wood. And it just couldn't give a good enough stream so that I wouldn't have drops and issues in the next room. So, pretty much standard issue that routers will basically give you. All in all, it was a good router. I don't ask too much of my routers. So this particular guy claims features of world's fastest Wi-Fi up to 450 for the 2.4? I think that's 2.4 gigahertz bands, and up to 975, although some of it says 1,000, which gives you the AC 1450. It should say 1,000, but there's a little plus there. So 975 for the 5 gigahertz band. This is a gigabit Wi-Fi next generation, Wi-Fi now at gigabit speed. So, was it fast? Yeah, it was fast. But it just couldn't carry once you got away from the router. So my router is basically right next to my computer. My main computer didn't really have any problems with my main computer, but as I started picking up tablets and I want to do more remote wandering around the house type of stuff, including gaming and just accessing stuff. Um, uh, it just didn't quite do what I was expecting or what I wanted it to. As far as working, as far as just browsing the web, that's fine. But any type of high performance stuff, now I don't watch that many movies walking around, or even in my bedroom. I do all that in the front room, and that's all. That's all through the wired, so no problems there. Ultimate range, Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home, not particularly. I mean, it does reach all corners of my home. I think it probably has a problem in the garage. But yeah, just in the next room, I was having problems. Again, gaming, so it's one of the more high demanding applications you can have. Let's see, DLNA friendly, that's true, but I don't really use it. Ready to share USB access, wireless access to USB hard drives. So I could plug a USB or two USB drives in there and access them throughout my network. That's pretty sweet. Never really needed to do it. I've got a hard drive that's got all my movies and stuff on it. That works just fine for me. One support or one super speed 3.0 ports. That's cool. Ready share, I could put my printer on here, but I already have network printers, so I don't necessarily need that. But that's cool that you can. Reliable connection, simultaneous dual band. So supposedly you could put multiple devices on the multiple bands, and it won't affect the other one. So cool, I guess. I don't really need it. AC beaming, beamforming plus, boost speeds, reliability, and range. So reliability and range were kind of my issues. Advanced QoS, optimized for smooth HD streaming and gaming. Again, kind of let me down there. Easy install, sure. Easy setup for iPad, tablets. Okay, so I'd agree it was easy enough to get onto it. Parental controls, I didn't need to use that. I hadn't used that. Guest networks, I like the idea of guest networks, but I don't like that I can't just assign like, oh, this IP is okay. So for example, my biggest pet peeve is that people they can get online, but they can't necessarily use my printer, for example. So I'd like guest networks to be able to access certain. I'd like it to have the capability to access certain IPs. So my printer, maybe my shared movie server, something like that. Not necessarily my business documents and personal documents, but anything that's public access on my network should be. I should be able to give my guests those privileges, and then in which case they'd have still a locked down version of my guest network, but they'd also have access to the resources that I want to basically make available to them. So far I haven't seen that level of configurability, but that would be the only reason. Otherwise, I guess guest networks are fine. It just gives them access to the internet essentially through your Wi-Fi and different password. I haven't really used them because of that printing issue. It's like, oh yeah, sure, you can get on the internet, but you can't print anything, and you can't use any of the resources I have that are really cool. So I end up giving them mine, honestly. I just turn off the guest one because it just complicates things. But obviously not as secure, so whatever. AC beaming faster, it's got a dual core 800 megahertz processor, So all this stuff is fine and dandy. Overall, the router did work okay for me. It's just I wanted more. So I picked up the Nighthawk. I think it's the Nighthawk X6, and given that a go. Still having a little bit of an issue with the Nighthawk. I'm still going to play with it and see if I can get it to have a higher range. I was reading on the reports that that the Nighthawk actually wasn't so great on range, so it's definitely better than this one. So anyways, this is the AC 1450. If you're doing a lot of mobile gaming around the house and you're relying on your Wi-Fi, I'd say, yeah, don't buy this one necessarily. And you're separated by a wall. If you have like one big open apartment, you're probably fine. But if you're like me and you don't, if you actually have a wall between you, then you're gonna probably have a problem like I have. But otherwise, very configurable router. Definitely did the trick. If you're wired, you're golden. If you're a Wi-Fi, which is why this router exists, um, definitely you'd be able to do everything except for gaming. And again, I didn't do much movie watching via Wi-Fi, so I can't really comment to that. Gaming wasn't to my satisfaction. All right, best of luck. I hope that was helpful in some way. Um, Netgear usually makes pretty good product, so if you don't have my restrictions on it, I'd say go for it if you're thinking about it. But otherwise, you might want to look for something that has a little more range and a little more reliability with Wi-Fi. Thanks. Bye.